How's it going, listeners? I'm Link, and this is Lynk-On Media Podcast. How's it going, guys? I'm here with my friend Logz. AJ is supposed to be jumping on, but he is having technical issues, and he will be on soon.
Always late to the party.
Okay, so at some point, he's going to jump on. So the topic we're going to be talking about now is House of the Dragon. Well, once AJ pops in, we'll talk about House of the Dragon. And also She-Hulk, one of Marvel's crowning achievements on ever, actually. It's so good. The special effects are so seamless. The writing is so tight. How they treat like core characters like Hulk, a character that has been in the zeitgeist for decades, and the treatment of Hulk is quite something to see. So since AJ is not around as yet, we will talk about the show that preceded House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, the show that which it spawned from. Indeed. So Game of Thrones, a show set 187 years after the House of the Dragon, is one of the most popular shows of, I would say, all time. Like, I remember the watch parties. I remember the pop-up bars. We went to one. Me, my wife, brothers-in-laws, we went over to San Francisco. We were in San Francisco, and we went to a Game of Thrones style bar. That shit was amazing. And that was the beginning of season 8. It was like, you remember how crazy it was, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
How crazy was that when season 8 was coming out?
Listen, that was one of the most anticipated seasons ever.
Right?
Like, I don't think anybody understands. I think like ever, because they took a little break and it was like, are you coming out with a season 8 or not? And it was like, yeah, we are. And it was like, all right, let's go. Because you ended season 7 on such like one of the biggest cliffhangers. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Like Daenerys and Jon Snow was getting together. They blew up. Wait, did they blow up the wall? That was when they blew up the wall, right? After season 7, at the end of season 7?
Yeah.
Well, that is one of the most epic shots ever, right?
Yeah. Even
though how they got the dragon was kind of stupid.
Yeah, it was a little dumb. But whatever. We digress.
But we didn't care. We didn't care about the details at the point. We were just like, Game of fucking Thrones. So I'm gonna ask you, when did Game of Thrones start? What was the moment you were like, oh no? What the fuck?
I mean, honestly, it started like what season? Probably like season 6. It was going down. I was like, what?
Oh, so it was before season 8.
Yeah, it started before. Yeah. I mean, but you would grind through it, right? Because all right, each little show has a little plot hole here and there. So you let it slide a little bit.
Well, 5 and 6 were slogs, though. I will attest to that. I think the whole shame plot kind of dragged.
I hated that. That was too long.
It was so long.
It was unnecessarily long. I think they were just trying to stretch out the season because they didn't have.
They
much
really
content.
were, yeah. And I think Dorne, that whole sequence was just way too long. What else? I think Arya's storyline started becoming a little.
Listen, Arya's storyline.
Oh, one second.
Getting nice. Oh,
all right. AJ is in. How you doing, man?
What up, Wayne?
Good. Logz, what? Please just be here. Thank you.
What happened?
Good to be here finally. No, I don't like he loves to use the government name. I don't like it.
Welcome, AJ. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right. So we're finally all together doing this, man. It's great. Seems epic. Gonna have an epic show tonight. So we were about to get into the House of the Dragon, but we're just gonna speed through our disappointments of the last season of Game of Thrones, and probably just before that, just everything that disappointed us from before to
everything. Like Arya's whole story arc made no sense in the grand scheme of things.
Didn't really end. Yeah, well, oh yeah. I can get in on that.
Made no sense in the grand scheme of things. She became a trained assassin for what? A knife trick?
It wasn't even a very good trick. Yeah.
A slip of the hand.
It was lame. Yeah, fair point. Go ahead. Sound like
that's what upset me. That's
I know
mainly
a
what upset
lot of
me.
people. I know a lot of people had an issue with Jon Snow's character arc, but actually, you know what? I actually didn't mind it. I actually didn't mind it.
AJ, shut the fuck up. You're talking lies. I don't want it. I don't want it. She is my queen.
I mean, he had no problem with Jon Snow's.
No. Don't get me wrong. I did not like the journey to get to that ending, but I didn't mind the destination in terms of him, what he ended up being at the end, and
nothing.
Yes, I didn't mind it. I'm not saying I actually liked it, but I'm saying I didn't mind it. Like it didn't throw me off as much as it did. I have no problem with him not doing the obvious thing and taking the throne. That's all.
There wasn't even any mention of him even taking the throne.
That was
completely omitted.
But that was the expectation of fans from the time they found out he was a Targaryen, right? That he would be.
Version worked for you.
Yes, but I based on like even the line you just mentioned, like what I'm saying is how he went how they made him go about doing it. The entire journey that it took to get to there, I thought was pretty lame.
Okay, well, I will say I do agree to a point. The fact that he isn't king, and he sort of just becomes he's basically the new leader for those guys, for the northern people, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
So I felt like that kind of fit, but just everything leading up to that, everything with Daenerys, everything with I just felt like it was a bit of a waste. Like it was
that's essentially what I'm saying. That's essentially the same thing I'm saying. That's why I said I'm okay with the destination. I just didn't like the journey that they took to get there.
Yeah, we could have had one episode and we could have gotten there.
I mean, we could go on all night.
We need a whole season.
I think I think like how they did Daenerys was dirty. Like
definitely.
She was definitely one of the it's so funny. I love the memes when they would say all the children named Daenerys. I'm so sorry for you. After but there's just no reason for that turn of I'm just gonna kill everyone. Like there was it didn't serve any purpose for her to get the throne. Like I understand if she did something that would open up the possibility of her getting the throne and that being an unethical decision, but the fact that she won, she got everything that she wanted, and then she was like, I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down. Makes no sense to me. It just came out of just and the thing is, I had in my mind like, you know, it would be funny if she just burnt down the whole place, and then she did it, and I'm like, no, this isn't funny at all. And it just went on for
it went on way too long.
It went on so long. Like how many times did Arya nearly died in that? She actually died a few times in that episode.
Definitely.
It just went on too long. I don't understand, man.
I think my biggest disappointment was the almost negative, like just how much they kind of talking about character arcs, just how much they kind of diminished the intelligence of the imp. Yeah, he was a dumbass. He was a dumbass in the final season, and it made absolutely no sense when he was arguably the most cunning and most clever of all of the characters
Indeed.
throughout the
He
entire
really
series.
was. He really was.
And then in the end, they kind of like turned it around. And granted, I feel like he should have been, based on the things that happened, he probably should have been killed before him and Jon Snow. But
Fair.
for some reason, they both lived. And
Well,
then
Jon
in
Snow
the
was
end,
killed, so
yeah. Well, I mean, after not him being killed and then coming back to life. I mean, killed after he, killed his lover / aunt. After he stayed there in Kobe. But and then sorry, I was just saying to wrap that up. I was just saying, and then in the end, they brought it back around to after Tyrion had been making all these terrible decisions and just seemingly not being aware of anything, which was completely unlike his character. In the end, he's the one that makes a suggestion that ends up becoming the path that the different regions take going forward and as a prisoner. And I'm like, all right, really, guys? Really? This is what we're doing? I think that was the biggest disappointment to me because he was my favorite character.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. He was my favorite character as well.
A lot of people's favorite characters. He was so. I remember how cunning this guy was. I remember when he was he wanted to send Cersei's daughter away to get married to a particular king. I think he said he wanted him to marry the prince in Dorne, but he told 3 different things to 3 different people to see who would tell Cersei. And then when Cersei came back with the information, he kind of smiles. He was just like, I know who fucked over. I know who fucked you. That was so it's so subtle.
It is.
If you're just
things
watching,
like that,
if you're just watching it folding clothes, you're not going to catch that. Just the
of course not. Watching it folding clothes.
Folding clothes.
Just the little details.
You're absolutely correct. Yeah, I know. Right?
Just and
that's husband talk, Logz.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Because I knew exactly what he meant. It hit me right here too. It hit me right here too, bro.
Well, who's gonna do it?
funny.
She's not gonna do it.
Exactly. I'm in the same situation, bro. I mean, it's my job, It is what it is. But yeah, no, you're right. It's just like subtle little things like that are what made him such a likable and an important character to the overall storyline. And then in the end, it just
he was the whole story.
Yeah,
he carried most of the season.
He did.
Yeah, Tyrion. I think, ever since season 2, that character just rose from what he was in season 1, better. And he just became such a fixture of the show. And just to see, I think after season 4, they didn't know what to do with him. I just felt like there was a lack of urgency with that character. I mean,
season 5 and 6 were basically a waste, so they didn't really use him that much.
Yeah, there wasn't anything else for him. But the thing is, the actor was phenomenal.
He was.
He was great. He was so great as that.
Absolutely. He's with the money.
Character. Yeah. I didn't like what they did with the brother. Not Brandon. Kingslayer, man. He's my boy.
Yeah. Well, shit happens.
It's like
the death was comical.
Okay. Here's the thing. Here's my thing about the death, right? You saw how many bricks and shit fell on him, right? And then Tyrion, the smallest dude in the whole, not only did he find the bodies, but he not only did he find where the bodies were, but he just took up 2 bricks and then he sees them right there.
That was it.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
And you know what made it worse? Because I noticed all of that as well. In addition to that, it's the fact that when he was walking into what was the name of that area where they died? What that layer or whatever. When he was walking into that area, he was walking on ground. He stepped up on 2 bricks, and then reached over and he, like as you said, pulled off a couple more bricks,
A
and
couple,
then the
and
body
that
was
was it.
So I'm like, okay, so if they were that close to the actual ground, couldn't they have stepped across, like just a couple steps across, and their lives would have been saved? This man was He did not walk on bricks all the way through. He didn't. He was walking on the ground,
He was
and
walking
then
on
stepped
proper
up
ground.
on some And it's not like they had a cleaning crew come in the night afterwards to clean up. So I mean,
Cleaning crew.
yes, I mean, you know,
That
after
was
hours
just
cleaning crew,
that's a minor plot hole.
But
minor,
hold on a sec. But it's not even. That's not.
bro. That
that's
was
just,
the biggest plot hole since Jack and Rose.
They both could have fit on the door.
Yes. Hate that damn movie.
They both
They
really
could have
could
took turns.
Hate that stupid movie.
They could have snuggled up, bro.
No, but it's
Each
about
other
the
warm.
love, man. It's about love and sacrifice. It's the themes.
It's about
AJ.
killing myself for you. Killing myself for you.
It's the
Okay.
themes. God damn it.
Okay.
No, but
all
anyways, no, but like if you just look at that moment, the death of Cersei and Jaime,
Oh
and
man,
how
I like
Tyrion-
Cersei.
and just how they got there was stupid. Why Jaime came to the city was stupid. Just
Yo, listen, James
just a
came to the
mountain
city
of
made no
stupid.
sense.
what?
What happened? What happened? Why did he go to the city again?
Just to get Cersei.
Oh, it was just to get her. Okay. Yeah.
And he got caught. And the thing is, he got caught because he had the freaking golden hand. Even he's doing stupid shit. Everybody's an idiot in this.
Everybody
in
turns
this show
stupid.
now.
Everybody's
Everybody's
stupid.
Where's the best place to hide when an undead army is coming for us? The frosty people are coming to get us, and they can raise the dead. Where do we hide? Oh, let's hide in the crypt.
It makes
lots
sense.
of dead Starks.
It makes sense.
That's brilliant strategic thinking there.
It is. It's our hiding place. It's our favorite hiding place.
Yeah, but anyways, so that's done.
It is.
That's done, and it was a great show from 1 to 4, and then you saw the picture of the horse where it was
The
like
horse.
great
horse.
detail in the beginning of it, and then just a children's drawing at the end of it. It's the personification of that.
It's
And
Thor.
we'll get to Marvel. We'll
Okay.
get to fucking Marvel.
Yeah.
I hate
Yes,
them
we
right
should.
now.
Yes, we
Who
shall.
doesn't? Who doesn't?
I hate them so much. But anyway, so let's move neatly along to House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Well, nice
so
segue.
it's set over 200 years before Game of Thrones and all that shit. And it's basic. Every franchise, whenever they shit the bed, what do? They do a prequel. They go back and do
Well,
sort
not
of
every franchise. Harry Potter didn't really shit the bed, apart from the ending.
All right, y'all on your own there.
Wait, you mean the Harry Potter movie where they were walking like crabs?
All right,
And
fair
then
enough.
Dumbledore,
All right,
and then Johnny Depp had like a really bad hair job, and
that was the prequel. That was a prequel.
like yeah, but that's
Those
what
are
every
prequels.
okay, fair enough. They didn't shit the bed on that. That was like actual
the series was
7
pretty good.
Yeah, that was 7 movies of decent. Like they kept the quality.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah,
They kept it pretty good.
Level for most
I
of
mean,
the fight,
6
except for the ending.
I've never seen a Harry Potter movie.
Really?
Listen out, bro.
Never read.
I don't know
it.
if
I just
I
don't think
don't
it's my
know.
thing though.
it's kind of past it. It's 20 years. I mean, what
Eh,
are you gonna get out of it now?
Nothing.
It's
I
pretty
know.
much
It's just
done.
I have a lot of respect for the franchise though. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not dissing it or anything. It's just I don't think it's my thing.
Since you've never seen it, AJ, Doc, do you think it's rewatchable?
What
The series,
the entire thing?
the entire series.
I think so. If you got nostalgia for it, for sure.
Okay.
I think those
Right.
movies are pretty well constructed. I know a lot of the book readers are disappointed in a lot of the changes that they made. I get
Especially
that.
the ending.
Yeah, I get that. But when you look at that from the first one, the Christopher Columbus movies, Christopher Columbus, Chris Columbus,
Chris,
the guy who did Home Alone, the Home Alone.
yes.
Guy. Okay, so when you look at what he started with and where it ended up, it's
absolutely amazing.
You know, it's they built on their foundations and they carved out a very satisfying ending. You know how rare it is to have a satisfying end to even a movie saga. Like I
wasn't satisfied.
Okay,
you weren't.
Well,
Semi-satisfying ending, I guess.
Okay, but it didn't, like, the quality didn't lose. You may have like some issues with how it went down.
Yeah, definitely.
But in terms of quality control, like Warner Brothers was on their shit when they had those movies coming out. I don't know why they didn't have that attention to detail when they were doing the Batman and the DCEU movies, but
I don't know what that is.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
But it was a different regime then.
Wow.
Like they actually knew what they were doing back then. Like people got fired because they passed on Harry Potter.
Yes.
That's to tell you how big that shit was back then.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah. I mean, just seeing how franchises go these days, Harry Potter.
It's a very good franchise.
Yeah, I would say it's proper. It's a proper.
They made a lot of money from that shit.
Yeah, not my favorite, but it's proper.
I mean, bearing in mind that I was first introduced to like the movies because my little sister was watching it. At that time, I had the ego of a teenager. I was not going to be caught dead being interested in something that my little sister was interested in. So that turned me off. Fair. That turned me off initially. And then as I grew older and more mature, I just sort of like I just leaned into, you know what, it's not my thing. I respect it. I realize that it has a huge following, a huge fan base. I think it has to be interesting if it has such a cult following, but it just never interested me to watch it.
As a X-Men, Transformers, Star Wars,
G.I. Joe,
what other franchise? Star Trek fan, seeing how those franchises just crashed and burnt. I look back in Harry Potter, and anybody who complains about how Harry Potter isn't what they liked, I would be like, guys, you don't know how hard it is. Okay, you have no idea. Harry Potter, Harry Potter doesn't have a Rise of Skywalker. They don't have X-Men 3 or X-Men Dark Phoenix. The quality of those movies got better.
There's a difference though. They started at Harry Potter from scratch, whereas all the franchises you called, they had like old ones and they were trying to reboot them into new shit.
Okay, fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It changed hands. Like there were different people in charge of those things.
Exactly.
That's why the Harry Potters are. Yeah, that's why I'd say the Harry Potters are really good, because it was in-house. They had their team and they had
and they were ready.
Good way
they
of
knew
doing
what they
it.
were
So
going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but those Fantastic Beast movies aren't good. Those movies are pretty. I don't understand the point of them. They're
They're
stuff.
not bad. It didn't need to be 3 movies, but it's not bad.
Man, what's the point of them? Like Ezra Miller's running around with his.
I legit have no idea. I really can't answer that for you. I have no idea what the point of those movies were. It was to convey the love story between Dumbledore and his best friend.
They fired Johnny Depp, man. They kept Ezra Miller in that shit. That's to tell you how. Anyways,
this dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a completely different story for a completely different time.
Yeah.
Let's leave
Anyway,
Ezra Miller out of this.
yeah, let's do that. So House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon. What are y'all views on it?
Go ahead, Logz. You begin.
I mean, I don't have any bad reviews on it. I liked the beginning of it. It shows the potential. I mean, we already know what's going to happen, right? But it shows you how the book is. Based on the book, I know that the book is not really, it's open-ended. So it just gives you like the names of the people in the story, and it tells you who they are, what they've done, all the description, the details. So it's not really like a. So it would just say like, all right, here's AJ. AJ went to GVSS. He played football, right? And it gives you long details of all this. So that's all it was in a book, basically. So they have a lot of creative control of where they can go with all the characters, right? I mean, but the plot is a very simple plot. You know it's going to go. So you have a little different ways that you could go with it. And all the characters, I mean, they may skip or they may tweak some things because they have tweaked some stuff as they went along. But you can see it sets up a nice political warfare between the family about who wants to take control and who's going to sit on the Iron Throne.
So the show is based on a appendices.
Which book?
It's like
the third.
It's like based on
appendices.
A Wikipedia page of names and dates, and
I guess you could say something like that.
it's kind of like the Rings of Power, actually, because that's they don't have the right. The funny thing about that show is that they don't have the rights to the books. That's still at Warner Brothers. So they're doing like their own thing. So it's gonna suck, but whatever. So House of the Dragon.
It's gonna suck.
I think it will. I mean, the trailers just kind of look.
And they got renewed for season 2.
Doesn't mean it's good. I mean, Halo got renewed for a second season. Nobody watched it. Everybody hated it.
I didn't see it.
Definitely didn't watch that.
Yeah. So, anyways, I liked it. I don't think I have the esteem for Game of Thrones as I used to have. But
Game of Thrones fatigue?
Fatigue.
I wouldn't say fatigue. It's just disappointment. Just the letdown of it just have left me with a bad taste in my mouth. So going into this, I'm just like hands folded, arms folded, and I'm like, well, let's see what you got. I mean, show me what you got. I mean,
the only reason I watch the show is because you said we were going to discuss it.
Exactly. Like if I wasn't doing the show, would I have watched it? Because I like Better Call Saul, but I haven't even finished Better Call Saul yet. I'm still like in season 3 or so. So I'm like very late on shows. So
you need to finish.
Yeah. All I'm hearing about
I haven't finished it yet. It's good.
No, it's one of the best things I've fucking seen, man.
Yeah. Vince Gilligan is a beast.
He is.
Let me just sidebar real quick. Vince Gilligan is such a beast that the guy who directed The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, Rian Johnson, like I don't like his writing, but his episodes in Breaking Bad are the best episodes. Like he did the one where Hank got killed.
He did,
which is absolutely great.
Yeah.
So it's the writing, guys. If you want to take away, the writing is important. It's not who's directing it. It's not what cinematographer does the cool shit. It's the writing. It's character work.
I completely agree.
Yeah. So I would say House of the Dragon. I think it's a good start. It sets up everything sort of well. We know that there's going to be some conflict with the new heir that they chose, since the heir for a day. Oh man, that is so fucked up.
That was a day?
Yeah.
Was that a day?
Yeah, that's what Matt Smith's character said about his nephew. He was, and then the king got mad.
The king got upset. Yo. I mean, naturally, I would too. Take that shit away from you.
King Viserys the first. the funny thing about that episode was that it was built up to be this happy moment where King Viserys was going to have his heir, and it was going to solve all these problems that he was having, and it all just goes bad so quick,
so fast.
So fast.
As stuff in Game of Thrones does, they go bad real fast.
Yeah. And I felt like they had to do something like that. They had to basically kill an infant in the first episode to be like, hey guys, look, it's just like old Game of Thrones. We're doing all the cool shit.
Yeah.
And it has all the stuff. It has the sex scenes. Even though Prince Damon, Matt Smith's character, he couldn't get it up.
Yeah.
But still,
it happens. It happens.
Yeah, it does. It does happen. He's got a lot on his mind, man. Like,
yeah, like ruling.
Yeah, man. I wasn't mad at him.
I mean, unlike you guys, right? I was actually looking forward to it. I was actually looking forward to the series, and and not with blind optimism or anything, but I was actually like, you know what? Yeah, let me see what they do here. Like I said, I guess because of the fact that I was not as annoyed and aggrieved with the ending of Game of Thrones as everyone else was. And granted, again, let me make this clear. I'm not saying that I was thrilled with it, but I just like how everyone's reaction was like, nah, it's like at -5. I'm like, all right, well, it's still bad, but I'll give it a 0 as opposed to negative. You know?
I'm just saying, give it that low because
I'm not saying anyone actually said -5. I was just drawing a reference.
Okay.
I just use numbers. Yeah, it could be any. Apply any numbers there. That being said, I was actually they did.
Give it that.
I was actually looking forward to it, and I mean, y'all kind of already said everything, but I like the way that the story was set up from the first episode. And you just said to Doc, like, it seemed as if there was going to be this happy moment when, you know, like he was in front of the crowd and he made this announcement and, you know, that his wife is going into labor and, you know, soon the heir will be here and all that kind of stuff. And it's supposed to be a whole big celebration for him and his family. Then he's put in a situation where he has to make this decision, this life-altering decision, literally for a member of his family. And then from sacrificing his wife for his basically almost stillborn child, and then losing them both, and then like so shit just hit the ceiling so fast. And I actually like
hit the sword.
The what?
The throne. It hit the throne.
Shut up. No, I like the way that shit went from 0 to 100 in the last like 10 to 15 minutes or whatnot.
Yeah, that's typical Game of Thrones shit.
And then basically, and then him obviously being after that, because he was such a joyful individual before that, and after that you could see like how his mood changed when he confronted Daemon, and you know, about him celebrating after his son and wife died, and you know, so I think the storyline is set up very well from game one, as Game of Thrones does.
Yeah,
I don't expect this to last 8 seasons, so hopefully they could like nip it in the bud before it goes all down the drain, before the writing starts to get too terrible. But I like what I've seen so far. I'm actually interested in seeing more.
It's only one episode. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll watch the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the big encouraging factor is that D&D aren't doing it. What are their names? Damon and dumbass.
Sounds legit.
I forgot. Just D&D, they're not doing it. They left to do Star Wars, got fired from Star Wars. Now they're doing some Netflix stuff, but I don't know if there's so many firings going on over there. I don't know if they're doing that either. So, I mean, whatever they do, I just want them as far away from Game of Thrones as possible. And another encouraging thing is that there's a new showrunner, and one of the showrunners are Miguel Sapochnik, who is the director of some of the like the bigger battle scenes and all that sort of the episodes
Right.
with the big battle scenes. He's the one behind those.
Okay.
So he directed I think he directed the Battle of the Bastards and the Long Night and all
nice.
that other stuff.
So the good episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the good episodes. I think he
Pretty
did some
much.
bad ones too. He did some bad ones too.
Yeah,
I think he did
you know.
the end, but the direction was never the problem.
The good outweigh the.
Yeah, the direction was never the problem for me. It's just the writing. So
Writing
that is
was horrible.
Yeah. So if they focused this on 3 very proper seasons and just sort of cut it,
Yeah.
I think I'd be okay with that. But they need to keep this rolling. Game of Thrones is so big. It was so big for HBO.
They're gonna drag this
think-
along.
They will, or they might spin it off and do some other things with it. I mean, you got to keep this train going, man. You got to
Again.
Yeah, I mean, once it sucks, I'm out. Like I already.
It's gonna suck after this. How many
Yeah,
how many episodes are they supposed to have in season 1? 8, 10?
Well, given the length of the episodes, I feel like it might be 8.
It was like an hour, right?
Yeah, somewhere thereabouts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I would say it won't be more than 10. That I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so
a glutton for punishment, so I probably still watch it. Will watch it all. Like I don't know. I mean, I like to watch it to be able to critique. You have to take the good and the bad. The only series I ever remember like just giving up on before I got anywhere near finishing it because it was just too terrible was Revenge. Don't ask me why I was watching Revenge.
No, I understand. You were probably dating someone at the time.
Yeah, I think that's exactly.
Yeah.
Revenge.
I mean, hey,
it was
that
whoever
show.
I was going. Yeah, exactly.
Yo, I'm watching Killing Eve
Revenge?
right now. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My wife watches that. I ain't getting into that one. Yeah,
come on,
this
man.
is a while.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It is?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nah,
I like
man.
it. The last
Nah,
season's
man.
a bit weak, but so far the first 3 seasons were pretty tight. But yeah, I've
my
watched
wife has me into some stuff too, but I ain't gonna reveal that what it is here.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'll reveal one more. I'll reveal one more.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna laugh at me for this one.
I'm laughing
Freaking-
already.
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh well, that's as bad as mine because my wife had me into This Is Us. Yeah,
This
me
Is
into
Us?
This Is Us. Yeah.
This
Oh,
is
yeah, I skipped that
us.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
This us.
It was too
I don't know.
saccharine. It was just.
I-
I think one day I'm gonna watch it because it's got quality. Like I've seen a couple episodes. It's quality stuff. So I might watch it at some point. I don't know.
I mean, I liked it because it was such a wholesome show, but at the same time, it was too good idea. Like it was just shit was just too good. Like it wasn't realistic to me. It was like, okay, life doesn't work like this.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I felt like that's what was happening towards the end when they were trying to tie up all of the storylines and like everything was just happening for everyone.
Fuck is
So
This Is Us.
You
never
don't
seen
know
that?
This
Oh.
Is Us?
Yeah.
What's
I mean, it's
wrong
wrapped,
with that?
they wrapped up the series now. Yeah, with Sterling
It's
K.
with-
Brown and
Yeah, Sterling K. Brown
and
and
the old Aquaman.
the old Arrow. He was. Wait, yes,
Yeah,
he
the
was
old-
Aquaman.
he was
He was old.
Aquaman.
Yeah, he was.
He was Aquaman
Josh Hartley.
for.
Josh Hartley.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was Aquaman for what do you call it? Shit, like a pilot.
That's-
Yeah, something like that. Something
And then he
like-
was
yeah.
then he was Arrow for
Arrow.
small.
I saw
Okay.
I saw Peace in an episode. Couldn't take it in after that.
Yeah, it's a bit.
And
It's a
the-
bit. It's a
the-
bit. It's a bit saccharine, man. It's a bit.
Oh, you mean
know, it's
a
hard
bit?
to-
This is us? Yeah.
A bit, just a bit.
I mean, boy, this.
Everyone-
Y'all faces are
Bro, because everyone has
sorry
logs.
right now.
Whenever you get there, bro, you're going to have that one show. Like,
That's not happening.
Yeah, man.
All right,
No,
all
you're
right. Say-
gonna be seeing.
all right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Logs.
Okay. I didn't even go argue with you. I'll check you back in about 3 years. We'll see.
Yeah,
Shut your ass up.
we gonna see. Actually, I don't. None of the characters really stood out for me besides Damon.
Damon, okay.
Like, I thought Damon was such a fully fledged, a well put together villain. If he is, I assume they're gonna go villain with that character.
Yeah, most likely. He's gonna want to take the throne.
It's everything that you expect, but it just doesn't have that staying power that the first. Like, I remember watching the first Game of Thrones episode, the pilot for that, and they introduced so many things before we even get to the main characters. First of all, there was the White Walkers that were we didn't even know what they were. They were just all we knew. There were people were getting killed the fuck out. There was that one child with the blue eyes. There were body parts everywhere, and then cut to Ned Stark having to kill one of them, having to execute one of them for deserting. And we don't even get back to that part of the story until seasons later. Mm-hmm. And then we get into the families, the Starks, the Lannisters, how who hates who, how Tyrion is, how Jaime is perceived as being the Kingslayer and all that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. There were just so many things that I wanted to get into. There was even the mystery of who killed Jon Arryn and stuff like that. And it ended with fucking Bran getting pushed out of a window. Like, that's one of the best pilots ever made, man. Like,
yeah, no.
Like they got incest, child death. Like, it's great.
Child abuse, death.
But I think there are let me say where now since that series was concluded. But there were so many moving parts in Game of Thrones that the way in which they introduced everything, it had to be a bit more holistic in terms of like including all of that other stuff. I think in this case, it is since the storyline is based on like one family, one house, one banner.
Yeah.
I think it was good that they, from episode 1, they started to build the conflict. And the conflict is built around, obviously, the Iron Throne and the main protagonist being Daemon. I think that's why his character had to be built or pushed
he's currently the main
episode. Yeah. Well, I mean, so currently, yeah, you know what I mean. But I think that's why his character had to be pushed so much in episode 1 and showing like the conflict, like the conflict between him and his brother, just the kind of person that he is. And I'm guessing that as now that Rhaenyra is supposed to be the heir to the throne, that we will see her character built a bit more. But I'm quite okay with her not having like a major part in episode 1. Besides, like them showing her essentially being a bit thrown off or like disappointed, I guess, at the fact that she was expecting to be outcast after the baby was born,
right?
And so it's kind of like apples and oranges to me in that regard, in terms of like how you compared it to the pilot of Game of Thrones. I think there was just so many moving parts. It's hard to kind of like to compare the pilot or expect it to like live up to that.
Okay, yeah, I feel you on that.
Fair.
But I do like, as you're saying that, I kind of like that they went the route of keeping it sort of linear. There aren't all of these different houses, basically hogging for the spotlight.
All right.
And I think as Game of Thrones,
not yet, at least.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
But as Game of Thrones went on, I found that a lot of the storylines had to be quickly, closed off. They had to end certain story arcs so that they basically streamlining the story to Jon and Daenerys. That's why Stannis got killed in a very sort of anticlimactic way. That's why certain plot lines were kind of left open. I can't remember a lot of them off the top of my head, but there were just a lot of things that the show just kind of moved on from. So if they can keep this linear, streamlined it, keep it on these characters, I think it would be beneficial for the show. especially if they, if they have all these other things happening, they're going to drop the ball at some point.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Wow.
I can't say I blame you. No, I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you.
I have faith in nothing. When like there was a time where you would say, "Oh, we're gonna take something from the '80s and we're gonna make it new, and we're gonna put it, something from my childhood, like Back to the Future or a Transformers movie or something like that." There was a point I would be excited for that shit. Now I am scared to fucking death. If they'd make a movie on a Rubik's Cube, I would, I don't know how I would take it. I'd be like, well, this is probably going to suck.
Funny you mention that, because that was, I don't want to segue into a new topic. This is just, I'm just dropping this tidbit here, but that is exactly how I felt about, did I mention this last time about Maverick? When I'm talking about like
going in,
going in. When it was announced that there would be one, and you haven't seen it? Nah, it's actually the most incredible movie I've seen for this year thus far.
It's the best movie in the summer,
and in a very long while too. Like I feel like trying to find something wrong with that movie is really just being a nuisance and nitpicking.
Well, I downloaded it tonight, so I'll watch it tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that you can't, but as you just said, Logz, to use back the phrase you just said, the good far outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
If there is any bad.
Lynk-On Media does not condone piracy of any kind.
Might have to edit that out. Don't let people know what Logz is doing. Yeah. I am not associated with Lauren Hercules in any such manner.
All right, government names. Damn.
Well, you kind of have it up here too. So that's why I call it. I'm sorry.
We're not doing videos. We're only doing audio. Bro.
I know. But guys, I'm seeing his name, right? So that's why I wasn't trying to
appreciate it.
That's how I felt, because I'm pretty sure I mentioned to you, like, it always seems to be a disaster when it takes so long to make another movie. And obviously, like the main example I had going into Maverick that had me feeling such a way about it was the whole Bad Boys franchise. But I'll leave that right there. So
okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
But it's also pretty much whenever they try to rush into like a new episode right after you like the last episode, like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Now, Batman Forever was popular when it came out. People actually liked it. And then they just rushed to have like another one come out. Like, we got to make another one. We got to make another. We got to make it more toyetic. We got to put toys in there. And then it just became a disaster. Sell. Yeah, exactly. So whether it's 2 years or 20 years, if you rush it, it's going to suck.
True.
But
true.
But how Tom Cruise works. My thing about Tom Cruise is that he doesn't rush nothing. He goes in and he tries to do the best thing he can do. Like he's just that focused. He is an athlete when it comes to making a movie. He's just like, I gotta do. It's got to be the best. It's got to be CGI. No, I'm going to hang off the plane by myself. I'm going to do it. Like
he's going to Gillette this bitch.
He's going to freaking do it. He's not going to, come on.
Best the man can get.
You're not going to paste someone's like his face on a stunt man. And no, Tom Cruise is going to go out. He's going to spend his money. He's going to pay his own insurance.
He's going to run.
And he will run.
Speed. He's run at top speed.
He will run. He will run, and he will
run
jump on a plane, and then he will fly that plane. He will.
He's going to ride that motorcycle.
He will do it.
Damn right.
So, anyways, back to House of the Dragon. Like, we gotta. You see, that's the thing about this.
We can stay on topic.
This episode, it's just that it's kind of unremarkable.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's the first episode.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Okay,
I think it's a good opener.
It's fine.
It was solid. It was solid.
It was pretty solid.
It's a good opener.
I think it did a good job at just doing all the things that we expect from Game of Thrones. There's a bunch of nakedness and sex stuff. There's the political intrigue. There's this issue of who's going to be the heir of the throne and all of this sort of thing. It has all the things, and it doesn't do it in a very lame kind of way. It's everything is well written. The characters that are even though they don't pop out as much as Tyrion or Jamie or any of them, but
still
they're
early.
pretty good. Yeah, it's still early.
Yeah.
And I don't hate it. I like a lot of the interplay. I just love Damon and how he just fucks up that whole. The energy of the room is just fucked up because of him.
Yeah,
like the hand of the king. He hates him.
The hand of the king is an idiot.
Oh, this guy? You don't think he's an idiot?
He's horrible as the hand of the king.
Really? How so?
He's not good at the politics part. Like, he's a good knight, but he's not really good at the politics of being the hand.
But yeah, he's a bit cut and dry. I'll agree with you there. He doesn't really.
He was a great knight. Is a great knight. Whatever. That's why the king had to fire him.
Okay, so the jousting scene.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was good.
That was really good. It kind of reminded me of the Last Duel with Matt Damon. That movie.
I didn't like that movie, but okay.
Yeah, fair enough. It's that level.
Yeah.
Like the fight scene.
You don't need to
the
see
fight scenes in this.
Fair. Yeah.
The quality of fight scenes that they have in this, I loved it. Like, I loved that whole jousting scene and how it was done in juxtaposition of the birth.
The birth, yeah.
How they were playing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because in the beginning, she did tell her daughter that the women's battle is in what was the exact phrase that she used? Basically say on the birth bed or whatever it was. So
yeah,
when she was talking, like women not fighting, and that is where their battle lies. And so the juxtaposition there, as you said, that was really well done.
How they're positioning Princess Rhaenyra as the heir for the throne. I mean, a lot of fans, I'm sure there's fans out there that are going to call like gender politics or whatever. I think it's interesting for the show. I think it's a sort of an interesting take on, the modern political landscape or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So,
boys tend to be the ones to be the rulers, the heirs. Mm-hmm. He tried his hardest to get. There were a lot of miscarriages. He tried his hardest to get, heirs. He did have a son. He's supposed to have a son that could take over, but nobody likes him, so he didn't want him to be the heir.
Where is he?
He's supposed to have a son. He's a bookworm or some shit like that.
Oh,
he's
okay.
there. But nobody likes him. Yeah, nobody likes him, so he didn't want him to be the heir.
So wait, they don't like him that much that they would.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
okay.
That's fucked up. But
so it was all about choosing the next heir. So they tried multiple times. As the king, you're gonna try because back in the day, men rule.
I'm cautiously optimistic on where the show goes. Where do y'all think it's going to go? Like, we know there's going to be a conflict between the brothers.
Everybody's going to die.
Yeah. There will be death. I think what's good about it is that it starts off like this Greek tragedy. It just feels like it starts off at such a tragic note. It just sets the tone for the rest of the season. So.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I can't really say much other than that. Outside of that, I agree with that. That after the first episode like that, it was straight into the conflict, straight into death or deaths.
Yeah,
and then the end of the episode just sets up more conflict because the entire episode was conflict. conflict based. It was conflict between different characters, whether it was Damon and the members of the council, or Damon, and then in the end, Damon and his brother.
Right.
Even the king himself having a little internal personal conflict because having to make the decision, again, going back to that, him having to make that decision to either save his wife or save the baby. And I also wonder too if they put in the part of about her telling him that if she's had so many miscarriages that if this one does not work out, that she's done. If that was deliberately put in there to show that factored into his decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so it was that conflict, and then even conflict afterwards with him in terms of like what decision should he make going forward as to his heir. So it, as you said, it sets a tone for the rest of the season, and I guess based on what we know is supposed to be the eventual outcome, it is just going to be conflict ridden, and I love it.
I mean, that is sort of what I've liked most about Game of Thrones. It's just the characters sort of like, these characters so well, and just seeing them bounce off each other, having conflict with each other, trying to politically outmatch the other. That is sort of it's the best parts of the whole thing. Like the dragons and the fight scenes and all that, that sweetens the deal. It's not really, it was never like an epic in that regard. It was more, how are these characters, how do they politically outmatch everyone to get what they want, and how their greed or their honor, how that sets them up for failure. Because that's what's cool about like the especially in the first 4 seasons, you had no idea who was going to make it out. You had no idea, because the good guys, they don't always
make it out.
Yeah, they really didn't. They would do like honorable things, and they will pay the price for it, because like they're playing the game with some ruthless motherfuckers.
They're playing a game with some honorable men.
Yeah, exactly. So the guy who was the king, I think I've seen him in like British shows, and I think he was in one of those Edgar Wright movies, like Shaun of the Dead and that kind of thing. I think he was in one of those.
His face is very familiar, and I was trying to figure out exactly where I know him from.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who's in things. He's in a bunch of things. Yeah. So I believe it's Hot Fuzz. I believe it's. And
of course, Reese Ifans. He's in everything.
Yeah.
English.
And he's great in this. Like he's just I really like that actor. I think he's one of those actors who could just change. He's different in every movie that he's in. Like you see him in Spider-Man, and then you see him in like Little Nicky, and all these other things.
He
like,
was the Little
completely
Nicky.
different. Yeah.
Forgot that.
Yeah, I don't know. British actors are just better,
different.
And of course, Matt Smith, who I think is the major reason why Morbius is watchable.
Still have not seen that.
Oh well,
me either. Okay. I'm not going to watch it.
All right, cool. Never mind.
I thought you would have. I thought you would have seen it, Logz.
No, thank you. I'm
fair enough.
Me and my wife saw it in theaters because the movie we wanted to see was sold out.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
That sucks for you.
Yeah, that's
because that was a horrible movie.
Did you buy snacks? Did you buy snacks as well? Like, did you waste that much money? Did you all buy snacks?
Did you buy snacks as well?
I just want to know if he only paid for the ticket or if it was.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say
snack
this.
money too.
I'll say this. It's the Alamo Drafthouse. So even if you're watching a terrible film there, you're getting your money's worth because the seats are comfortable, the food's good.
Nice.
Like it's proper. Like you get like proper like burgers, fries, nachos, that kind.
Well, she.
like you
So the
drink
worst thing
beer.
about the entire experience was the actual.
It's just the movie. Yeah, it's just the
Okay.
movie. Everything else
Fantastic.
is phenomenal.
All
Yeah.
right. Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna watch a bad movie, watch it at Alamo Drafthouse.
Watch
And if
a bad
anybody in
movie.
Alamo Drafthouse is listening, pay me. I will like gladly. I think we saw Northman there.
Hashtag ad.
I think we saw Northman there. But yeah, the Alamo Drafthouse, man. That's one of my
Gotcha.
favorite spots.
Gotcha.
Noted.
All right. And did anybody get excited when
No.
Rhaenyra when she said Dracarys? Like
No.
she's at the grave
When she's
of her mother
No.
and her stillborn brother, and then she's like Dracarys.
no, I didn't.
I got nothing from that.
What?
was-
You didn't clap? You didn't be like, oh
No, I
she said the
chuckled.
grave.
No.
I chuckled.
No.
I chuckled. It didn't. It just didn't have the same effect. I'm like, all right.
It
so they're
didn't.
just
It really didn't.
using him as a lighter, basically.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
He was a lighter. Yeah.
Pretty
Not to
much,
kill,
yeah.
not to kill anyone, but to just to flame the already dead.
Yeah,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
That part I could have done without. They could have really just lit a torch and then did it the old-fashioned way instead of like
I guess
showing
they're
off for
trying
the
to appease
dragon.
trying to
Yeah.
appease the fans.
That's exactly
That's-
what it was. That's
yeah.
exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Just
I
for,
like,
for us to see that in episode 1 and
yeah.
for people to potentially get excited. Oh, she said it. Yeah. I like Doc said, she said the thing. She said the Link, sorry, said, she said the thing. No, it was kind of like, all right, just work it in a better way in the future. All right. Just,
I mean, yeah.
just,
Because
that was
dragons
pretty fucking
are
lame.
normal. Dragons are normal in that time,
Yeah, I guess.
right?
I guess.
It's not a big thing.
I just feel like a standing tiki torch would have done the job effectively for me.
And the tiki torch.
Yeah, that was a little extra. Yeah, just have the tiki torches around, like a little ritual kind of thing. You take one, you light it, boom, we good to go.
I think it's more symbolic. They're
Fuck their
that's their
symbols.
thing. Dragons are their thing. So they have to like
It's normal. So it's like, yo, just do your duty as a dog and just burn the shit for me.
I mean, I mean, I get all of that, but I just feel like all I'm saying is it would have even made more sense to me if they showed her like when she was actually like riding the dragon, like flying on the dragon. If she just like set it in midair just for the dragon to do it, then I would even understand
that would have
that.
seen more corny.
Like it would seem more what? Corny to you?
Corny, yeah. To me.
You see, to me, it would have shown, it would have had that element of her like playing around,
Practicing?
having fun. Yeah, in a sense. And I was still, to me, the corny part was using it to like, what was the difference between what the dragon did there and a torch? Honestly, that's what I'm
It
saying.
was fast. It was faster.
It was.
It
was
was
it really?
faster.
Was it really? Because the fire did
Was it
take
really?
a little while to spread.
I mean,
The fire
they
did
had
take a
to,
little
like-
while to spread.
they had to like feed the dragon. They had to bring the dragon out of wherever the dragon was. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to like just. It's not like a trained puppy that you could say sit, dragon, sit. I'm sure it took them a while to get that out there. There was a lot of effort.
They
There's a
have
lot of
the,
effort there.
what's it called? The dragon lair or something like that. So you remember in Game of Thrones season 8 in the end where they had the whole speech with the king about who was going to be king and whatever.
Yeah.
That's the same place where they keep the dragons.
Yeah, I remember there was like a little tomb where they were keeping them. I still didn't care for the torch lighting.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Fair.
That's just me.
It's fair.
all right. So I think the consensus is that we liked the episode. We're cautiously optimistic. We don't think it's bad, but we don't. It's fine. I guess it's 7 out of 10 for everyone all around.
That seems fine.
I'd say 7.5 because I feel like it's halfway between average and excellent.
Okay.
So seven.
So
Seven is
seven and a
average?
7.5, but 7 is closer to average than it is to excellent. 7 is closer to 5 than it is to 10. 7.5 is right in between. You get me?
All right.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, but as this story is continuing, I think that
You know
some
what's not a
stories-
10?
What?
She-Hulk.
Oh, damn it! I had one set up. I had a segue set up. It was going to be witty and funny. Can't do it now. Thanks.
No, you can still go ahead. Like we could just cut it right here and then just start anew, and then just like
Nah,
it would be like Logz never happened.
Nah,
It'd be
it's
like
done.
that never happened.
Thanks, Logz.